Big crowd today. Excited? Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
That was some enthusiasm.
I'm Deepak. This is Matt. And I want to start off by saying that Matt and I took a bet. So I have $20 riding on this. So raise of hands on how many people are in IT, and then second, how many people are in security. I took a bet. What percentage? Let's see how many people are in IT.
Damn.
I think I'm going to win this bet. How many are in security? Just security.
Oh, that's better than yesterday. We did the same yesterday, and we think there was about maybe 80 or 90% were IT versus security. So I think there's more security today than there was yesterday, which is good news.
Yeah, I think we split the dollar bill. All right, cool. So I'm Deepak. I'm a PM on the Microsoft Defender ATP team. Matt's on the Microsoft Endpoint Manager team. So today, this session is a bunch of different demos. We're going to walk you through how you can configure MD-ATP and optimally tune it to sort of protect your environment. With that, thank you. So first, just a quick high-level overview of what Microsoft Defender ATP is. So Microsoft Defender ATP has the TVM, the Threat and Vulnerability Management, which essentially allows you to scan your entire environment and identify out-of-date applications, out-of-date OS, and identify weaknesses, and subsequently gives you security recommendations that you can go and address to improve the security posture of your organization. Once you've done that, the next is sort of you have all your devices, you have your Windows devices, Mac devices, etc., and you want to reduce the attack surface of those devices. Reducing the attack surface means sort of optimally sort of configuring them or turning off certain features or tuning certain features and tuning certain attack surface reduction rules that come with Microsoft Defender ATP, which entirely shut off certain classes of threats. Classes of threats such as fileless attacks, Office macro threats, etc., can be neutered with attack surface reduction. As an example, one of the attack surface reduction rules says Office macros cannot call into Win32 APIs. Most good macros don't do that. And a lot of the bad macros tend to do that because they essentially use Win32 APIs or some other mechanism to encrypt your data or do something nefarious. So attack surface reduction has a bunch of different rules like that which allow you to turn off certain bad behaviors in these attack vectors. Once you reduce your attack surface, you still are going to let some sort of files through and some threats through. So that's when you need your next-gen protection, which sort of scans the various files before they execute, scans files and processes when they're executing, so scans threats in memory, etc., and uses sort of our on-client ML and our in-cloud ML and our detonation services to determine whether this particular file is bad or not, and also whether the behavior that is exhibiting is bad or not, and subsequently either prevent it from executing or stop the specific execution activity. And that's your next-gen protection. So great. So now you sort of reduce your attack surface. Now you also started detecting threats and blocking them. There may be some advanced threats which essentially may still be operating in the environment. For your advanced threats, you want to enable your SOC teams or your Security Operations Center to be able to detect and respond quickly to those threats. And that's where is your EDR component. Your EDR component watches for various behaviors exhibited by the various processes and also listens for certain sensors in the OS, in the kernel level, etc., and determines if there are suspicious activities going on in your organization and on specific devices. So it allows you to identify things such as maybe there's some PowerShell which is exhibiting some suspicious behavior, or maybe there's some buffer overrun happening in the kernel, etc. And those type of things are great signals to your SOC team. And the SOC team, by sort of recognizing these signals as in the form of alerts, they're able to identify whether there's actually a threat actor in your environment or not, and then specifically then take actions. But when there's an EDR, there could be a lot of these alerts that are coming into your organization, because some of these it's exhibited by threat actors, or it could be by applications. So that's why we have our auto investigation and remediation. So what it allows, the auto investigation and remediation allows the SOC team to offload some of their response playbooks. So they may say, if I tend to see a PowerShell which is exhibiting some sort of a behavior, stop that PowerShell from executing. That can be a automated response action or a response playbook that is in your organization. So an auto investigation remediation allows you to sort of set those things up. Now, the last pillar is Microsoft Threat Experts. Microsoft Threat Experts is where Microsoft is able to sort of look at some of these alerts and send a guidance back to various organizations and say, hey, we've looked at these alerts because generically, and we think that there is some nefarious activity, so please look at these alerts, and we can send this information to the specific SOC team. And this is essentially, think about where Microsoft, because we look at it at a global scale, we can look at all the alerts across all the organizations. We're able to say, yeah, we see these patterns, and we are able to identify threat activity and raise the sort of the priority for certain specific alerts that your SOC team should pay attention to. So that's the breadth of Microsoft Defender ATP. Now, with this breadth, most of you folks are in IT. There also comes the necessity to configure all of these components in a right and secure manner. And this, so when you sort of translate this into the various components, you think about like the firewall, the AV, the EDR component, et cetera. All these need to be configured. And today, we're going to sort of deep dive into those configurations. We're going to deep dive and walk you through how security and IT can work together, and sec admins can work together to sort of optimally configure Microsoft Defender ATP all up. And with that, I will hand it over to Matt.
Thank you, Deepak. So as Deepak mentioned, today's session is all about configuration. So I think we've only got, maybe this is the last slide before we actually jump into some demos. So let me just level set in terms of the tools that we're going to see today. We have the Microsoft Defender ATP console, which is securitycenter.windows.com currently. And that's generally used by that SecOps persona, that person who's doing the advanced hunting, the EDR responses, the automated response, and deep diving into security-related events. In terms of configuration, that's generally handled by a dedicated sec admin or an IT admin. Again, probably more than half of you guys in this room today are probably doing this sort of configuration. And you guys and girls are going to be working in the Microsoft Endpoint Manager console, formerly the Microsoft Intune console, where all of the device configuration and so forth happens. So we have these two different personas doing two different things, and we're going to be showing the experiences in both of these consoles today. And they love each other. So the first demo we're going to jump into today is a super short demo because it's a really easy process to connect Microsoft Defender to Microsoft Defender ATP to Microsoft Endpoint Manager. And let me just show you that now. 8. There we go. Okay. So I'm starting here in the Microsoft Defender Security Center. This is the SecOps side, and I want to be able to start making the most of all of that value that Deepak was explaining across those pillars. And the first thing I need to do is connect MDATP to Intune. So I'm just going to come down here to my settings, and I'm going to go Advanced Features, and I'm going to make this turn on. It's as simple as that. That one toggle box now means both of the products are talking to each other, and now we can start making use of these SecOps and SecAdmin workflows and all of the features in there. So this is a really simple thing for all of you to do first thing Monday morning. If you've got MDATP, come in here, set this toggle, and everything is going to start talking to each other. So that was my demo. Oh, clap, that's great. So next I want to just give you an overview of the work that we've been doing in terms of that SEC admin, admin experiences. There's been a bunch of announcements this week around our rebranding and our merging of the Configuration Manager product and Intune product so that we're building a single cloud console for device management. But we're also building out some dedicated SEC admin experiences that include all of the configuration and reporting in a single pane of glass. So the goal and the end state that we're aiming for is that the endpoint security node in Microsoft Endpoint Manager is going to show every single one of your devices across the organization, be they Windows or Mac, modern managed, mobile devices such as iOS and Android devices, and even your on-prem devices that are being managed by Configuration Manager today, including legacy clients and server clients. So this endpoint security node in Endpoint Manager is going to be the one-stop shop for all of the configuration and reporting. We're also significantly expanding the security baselines work that we've done in the last 12 months. We'll dive a little bit deeper into that later. And we're also looking to significantly expand the security tasks. Security tasks are a great way for these SecOps and SEC admin people to collaborate across these two different tools for organizations that are siloed between security and IT. So for my next demo, I just want to show you the new experiences that we've been building out in Microsoft Endpoint Manager. So here again, I'm going to start in my security operations dashboard in MD-ATP. You'll see here that we have a configuration management node. And configuration management node shows me all of the devices that are currently managed by Intune and whether or not they've been onboarded to ATP or not. So you can see here I've got a bunch of onboarded machines. I've got some stats around my security baseline. And I don't have the right link here. Let's go back to this tenant. Let's try this again. Onboarding and security baselines, and in this particular tenant, which is one of our pre-prod tenants because this is in private preview at the moment, you can see I now have a link on the top right-hand corner called Manage Endpoint Security Configuration. And when I click out here, I'm actually going to be dropped directly into the Endpoint Security node in Microsoft Intune, Microsoft Endpoint Manager. And because it's both of these products are under the M365 banner, it's very easy for us to create those RBAC roles for those SecOps and SecAdmin people to be able to drop directly in here with no extra authentication prompts, no external tooling or no other authentication providers. And this is the experience that we've been building for the SecAdmins. So you can see here we have an all devices list, which will contain, funnily enough, all devices. Which will allow the SecAdmins and the SecOps people to be able to jump into a device and understand what configuration is actually being applied to that. We have security baselines and security tasks, which we'll dive into a little bit later with some more demos. But then down the left-hand side, we've got a whole bunch of dedicated experiences for the SecAdmin. So from disk encryption, for example, here, I can come in here and just create a policy for both BitLocker and FileVault. And from there, I can deploy that out to my devices, and I'm going to be sure that my macOS and Windows devices are going to be encrypted, and I'll get all the reporting functionality and so forth out of it as well. Finally, I'll just quickly show you the attack surface reduction policies that we have in here as well. So we significantly improved the experience for the ASR rules that Deepak's going to show later by splitting them out into more workload-focused policy types. So we've heard feedback that having all of these ASR-style rules in one policy type has been challenging, so we've split that out to make that management a little bit better. All right.
I think you got one more. So we're going to walk you through sort of two demo sessions. The first demo session is sort of, and it's going to be in sort of a sequential order. First is, what do you do first when you sort of get MD-ATP, where you show the connection, and then now you want to go and configure and sort of rightly set up your devices. That'll be this set of these four demos. And then next will be sort of when you're in operating mode, how do you actually go and rightly configure and sort of tune your various configurations. So with that, I'll hand it back to Matt.
Back to more demos.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so we've just switched back to the endpoint security node in Microsoft Endpoint Manager. And I want to start by showing the security baselines. So the security baselines concept has been around for a long time. The first one that we shipped was the MDM security baseline, or the Windows 10 baseline. These baselines have been written by exactly the same people who have been writing our GPO baselines at Microsoft for something like 15 years. And the concept and idea behind a baseline is that we pull all of the security settings that Microsoft recommends be a baseline, a starting point for your organizations. And not only do we give you those settings, but we pre-configure them for you. So the MDM baseline here has got something like 260-something settings, and they're all configured against that Microsoft best practice guidance. We've also got 3 other baselines in here. The MD ATP baseline is currently available, but we've also got the Microsoft Edge baseline and the Office baseline in this console as well. These are in private preview at the moment, but they should be available early next year. So when we're deploying these baselines, we have a Windows 10 baseline, an ATP baseline, an Office baseline, and an Edge baseline. If you can deploy all 4 of those to your devices, we think we've got you covered in terms of all of your security configuration. No need to go out and do all the security research and understanding of what settings should and shouldn't be turned on. Start here and then start layering other settings on top of them. So the MD-ATP baseline, its goal is to do all of the configuration of the stuff Deepak showed you before. So here we should be as simple as going in and creating an ATP baseline, deploying it to all of my devices, and I should be confident that all of those features within Windows should be turned on and configured to the optimal state. One of the great things about baselines compared to things like GPO is that we actually get some reporting status back from these settings as well. And so when we deploy out a baseline, we actually get response, and we can actually tell whether or not a setting happened or not. When I deploy out a GPO baseline, I don't get any of that data back. We throw it at the device and hope that it's stuck. Here in the console, you can see I've got 2 devices that are targeted by this baseline, and neither of them match the baseline. So that's a bad thing, right? I should be going off and trying to solve this. One of these actually doesn't match the baseline, but was successful. So all of the settings applied, but I'm getting a does not match baseline back. And this particular state happens when the sec admin has tuned one of those settings away from Microsoft best practice. So the setting was successful, but it doesn't meet our Microsoft best practice. And then there's also one device here that's in a misconfigured state. So something's happened on the client where this baseline hasn't applied successfully. So me as a sec admin, I would want to dive into that device and understand what's going on and try and troubleshoot and solve those problems. We also get an awesome aggregate view in terms of security features here. I can see here 50% of my devices, which is 2, don't match the baseline for account protection and so forth. So I can report at a higher level than just at the individual setting level. I think I was going to go into profiles as well. If I go into profile, I can actually see the individual settings that are applying to this device. So this is green here compared to the baseline because this profile that was deployed to the device was successful, but the setting that was configured doesn't match the Microsoft baseline here. If I go down to my per setting status, I can get a really granular view for every single setting that's in this baseline and whether or not it succeeded on the client or not. So compared to GPO, this is just so much more power for a sec admin or a SecOps person to dive into their security configuration.
All right, great. And we'll switch back. So Matt just walked us through, okay, so now your devices are configured, right? I mean, some match the baseline, some don't match the baseline. Now, you're in run mode. There are various threats which are executing in your organization, unfortunately. And so this is where your attack surface reduction rules sort of kick in. So let's say, actually before the attack surface, I'm actually going to show it live. So hang on, before this demo,
Taking a risk, Deepak.
I know, it's jumping over there. Cool. So I will walk you through the attack surface reduction. So again, going back to the MD-ATP console, the configuration page is where you start for all configurations. And there's another card here for attack surface management. And this takes you to a dedicated widget, which sort of allows you to sort of tune your attack surface reduction rules. And Again, based on the RBAC, et cetera, that have been aligned across these various products, allows you to seamlessly navigate from one product to another. So now consider the situation where you've deployed the attack surface reduction rules. And one of the attack surface reduction rules says, for Office macros, disallow calls to Win32 APIs, or disallow macros from launching processes. Now that's great, and we expect it to mostly block bad stuff. And we've tested it, and essentially we roll it out in a large number of devices already. But sometimes there are finance macros which sometimes tend to do some of these things and behavior. So you have to tune this in your organization. So that's why we have given you this widget which allows you to easily tune these attack surface reduction rules. So here, very easily, you can it shows you a summary of saying, oh, there are so many hits that are in audit mode and in block mode. So you can deploy stuff in audit mode, test it out before you then switch it over to block mode. Now you may ask me, like, okay, great. Hey, can I see what are the files that are getting detected? And that's why we introduced the group by feature, which allows you to say, okay, show me the group by files, and then it shows you the files that are actually getting hit over here. And you can see here there are a bunch of different files which are getting hit on this specific rule over here. You may also sometimes you may get help desk calls saying, oh, hey, this me, the user, Ava, or whoever is essentially getting hit by getting blocked by this specific rule. And they're seeing these pop-ups in their desktop, and they're getting blocked by attack surface reduction rules. So you can use the group by feature again, and you can say which user is getting hit by the specific rule. And here you can see Ava was getting hit. And you can quickly also see who are the other users that are getting hit. You see Susie as well. So you can look up your org chart, or you can look up your internal tools, and you can see, okay, both Ava and Susie were in the finance division. So the finance division, and then you see the type of files that are getting hit, where finance Word doc is one of the files that is getting hit. And, and in fact, our information sort of gives you pretty clearly says got hit in November, it is audit, it is because of the block all Office apps from creating child processes. And now you can sort of get more information about the file. You can check in with your SOC team and say, is this file a good file? Then they can essentially use the MD ATP console based on the hash and check whether it's a good file or not. And if it is a good file, then you want to go ahead and exclude this file, and you don't want the ASR rules to trigger on this file. So you can go to the Add Exclusions tab. And what we've also given you is another very cool tool which says you can select this particular file. You can simulate the impact of excluding this file. So previously, you might have had a large number of detections, but now once you exclude it, the number of detections should go down. And then you can decide whether it's acceptable for you to roll this out in your organization as a rule or not. And this impact simulator shows you that. So here it shows you succinctly, like, OK, there were 18 fewer detections, and there were 3 fewer devices that would be detected after this particular rule was, this file was excluded. So now you can export this and deploy it using the Microsoft Endpoint Manager that we've been showing you previously. That I'm going to continue on demos. I'm going to switch over to video. So now consider this place. You've deployed your attack surface reduction rules. You've gone ahead and tuned it. Now your CISO or CIO comes and says, hey, I want you to make the organization even more secure. They're like, oh, you know what? I have all these USB keys, and I don't want people to go and pick up a USB key from the parking lot and then use it, or buy it from Best Buy or wherever and use it. My organization wants to give you a specific set of USB keys that we have purchased, and those are the only things that should be used in your company. So we'll go back to Ava again. And Ava is now using 2 USB keys, 2 identical USB keys from Samsung, the exact same brand and exact same model as well, and potentially the exact same model that your company has purchased. And So she's able to use it. Right now, there's no policies that have been deployed to sort of go ahead and block this. But so Matt showed the security baselines earlier. The security baselines deployed, in the security baselines, we have a section called device control. Device control allows you to control what USB devices are permitted in your organization. And you can also customize the baseline. And here, this video is going to walk you through how you can customize the baseline, how you can essentially sort of add additional specific devices that are permitted in your organization. So this section here, where it says like change the device identifiers, allows you to control what devices are permitted in your organization. So you can do an allow list of devices, saying only these devices are allowed, or you can do a block list of devices, saying these devices should never be permitted in your organization. And then you can also target, of course, you can target very specific groups in your organization. Now, once the policy is deployed, I'm going to skip the deployment part because I think you folks are familiar with Intune. Now, back to Ava's PC. So all of a sudden now, she sees only one USB device on her computer. And so the device that was, even though she had already plugged in the USB device, that device is now unloaded, and she no longer has access to it. And because we do not want it to be a surprise that she suddenly lost access to it, we pop up a toast message when the policy applies, telling her that, hey, the organization apply this policy. And if you notice here, the toast is also customized. You can customize the toast message. You can actually say, your company, you can give it a headline. You can say, if you want to request an exception, you can even put a request exception URL over there. So she can then go to that specific URL and say, hey, I really need to use this device for my work. And that triggers off a workflow where you have the information, and then you can add that specific device ID into the allowed list of devices, allowed or blocked list of devices. And so previously we had the ability to control at the vendor ID and product ID level. So you could say I'd block like Samsung devices, or I'd allow only Samsung devices. Now what you can control is you can say specific device instance IDs. So even if somebody goes and buys a Kingston 32 GB Santa Cruz from the store, but you have not provisioned the specific serial numbers or device instance IDs, it'll not work in your company. So that's the granularity that we have provided with this. The same capability can also be used to block entire classes of USB devices. So if you want to disallow cameras in your organization being plugged in, you can disallow that as well.
How cool is that customer notification? Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So I've got one more demo before we switch back to the deck, actually. So the last demo I wanted to show you guys is our firewall rule authoring experience. So we know that that while we're deploying security baselines with Microsoft security recommended best practices and so forth, there's always going to be those edge cases that we need to manage as well. So a couple of months ago, we shipped a new feature to be able to modify individual firewall rules at the device level. So for years, we've been able to configure firewall, just like GPO, turning it on and off and modifying domain and private profiles and so forth. But this new section down here allows us to create individual firewall rules and target them at specific device and user groups. So here I've just got a scenario where there might be one or two devices that are hosting some old school lob app that require SSH. And those ports are going to be blocked by default. So we want to open up that one single port for those couple of devices. So all I've done here is just created a TCP 22 port rule and deployed that to my two devices that need to be unblocked. So if I was doing this in GPO, that would be sent out, and then I would just kind of hope it happened. But because we're using MDM, we're using Microsoft Endpoint Manager, we actually get the report back at that device level as well. So if I search for one of these devices that we've targeted to, Ignite number 3, me as a SEC admin can come into the all devices view and see all of the settings and configuration on this particular device. I can even perform all of the remote actions that I would expect to scan for AV and rotate BitLocker keys and all those sort of things as a SEC admin. But I just want to quickly show you the firewall policy that's been deployed to this particular device. You can see here the allow SSH for terminal application is there. It's reported succeeded. And I can even click down on that and I can see the individual settings. And I can see that that port rule has been successfully applied, and now I can be confident that that end user is going to be able to use those applications on those devices. Cool?
Yeah. Great. So continuing on, so now sort of the next section of demos. So now you're sort of have been using, you configured it, you've been using it for a while, and now your SOC team is saying, okay, hey, I see all these threats in the company, and I want to do something proactively. I don't want to sort of wait for your SOC team to go and detect the threat. You and your SOC team now, or your security and your IT team essentially talk to each other and say, if MDATP reports the threat level of the device to be above a certain level, then I want to essentially block it. So yeah, so we'll show you that with the device risk. And then we'll head into TVM and then some of the reporting capabilities as well in this demo set. So first is sort of we'll walk you through the device risk and sort of configuring that. So first you go and set a device compliance policy. So what we've added is, in the device compliance has existed for a while. What we've added is the ability for receiving the signals from MDATP to the Microsoft Endpoint Manager console. And Microsoft Endpoint Manager essentially says, hey, if the MDATP says there's a risk level is above a certain amount, here it says if it's clear, which means the device is marked with no risk level at all, only then I want to take the action immediately. And then you go to sort of the compliance policy or a conditional access policy and say, now only devices that meet the compliance policy are allowed to access specific cloud applications. Cloud applications such as the Microsoft Endpoint Manager console and several other consoles. And the demo will
Exchange Online and SharePoint Online,
yeah.
most importantly.
Yeah, there we go, exactly. So to allow you to protect your devices or infected devices from accessing corporate business data which resides on those servers. And here are some examples of the various cloud services that can be controlled. So Ava now has her device level at a certain risk level. Now she's trying to navigate to the Azure console, and unfortunately she's blocked. Conditional access kicks in because of the signals that MDATP shared to the Microsoft Endpoint Manager console and to conditional access, and subsequently she was blocked from accessing this cloud application. Great. And demo.
Okay, so we've got a bunch of that automation built in. So if there's there's a risk on the particular device, ATP is going to pick up that signal. It's going to tell Intune, and Intune's going to block access from those corporate assets. But there's a bunch of times when there's risks and vulnerabilities on a device where there is some sort of manual device configuration that needs to occur. And I'm just going to briefly show you our TVM integration, or the Threat and Vulnerability Management integration. I believe the session before this was like dedicated to TVM because it's huge and it's a great product. So I definitely suggest you go back and have a look at that deep dive. But let me just show you the brief demo here about the TVM integration. So what TVM does is it looks client-side, and it collects a whole bunch of data, and it understands if there's some device misconfigurations or even some vulnerable apps and vulnerable configurations. All of these apps and security configuration vulnerabilities generally have to be deployed by some sort of IT pro, some person who has the ability to deploy apps and so forth, and not necessarily the SecOps admin. So what we can see here is we've actually built a specific list of to-dos for each individual organization based on the threat and vulnerabilities that we found in the organization. So you can see here the top one that's being suggested for me is to update VLC Media Player. So if I click on here, on the left-hand side here, you can see like a whole laundry list of things that we're recommending that needs to be gone and fixed and configured and deployed. In the right-hand side, this is all the specifics about this particular threat and vulnerability that we found. So you can see here which machines have been exposed. So that Ignite 3 that I've got the firewall rule has got an old version of VLC on it. You can see all the CVEs that have been addressed. So you can actually dive into each individual one of these and understand what the actual risk is. But most importantly, we have this new option called remediation options. And the remediation options actually builds this workflow between this console and the Endpoint Manager console so that the IT pro has all of this information that he or she can go off and deploy the newest version of VLC. So if I tick this, open a ticket in Intune and select a date for all the tracking purposes and submit a request, that goes off and it sends a signal to Endpoint Security in the security task section where my IT pro can then go and gather all that information and mitigate the risk. So if I click on security tasks here and I sort by created date, which was just now, you can see here there's an update VLC media player option. So we've pulled all the metadata across so we can see which devices were affected. You can see here that it's going to be that Ignite 3 device when it loads. You can also see here, when I click on the managed app, because it's an Intune managed app, I actually drop you directly into the application itself. So for me as a SEC admin or an IT admin, all I need to do is grab the newest version of the VLC binary, pop it into this app, and then those devices are going to be updated and mitigated. So that really closes the gap between those two SecOps and SEC admin workflows when an organization have those silos between the two different teams.
Isn't that pretty cool? When I bring the two products together? Yeah. Cool. So fantastic. So now you sort of have this product running, et cetera. Now your CIO comes and says, hey, show me what the value this product is bringing to you, right? I mean, like, what is it protecting you against? What is it defending you against? So that's where reports comes in. So reports, again, applies to the set of devices, whether they are SCCM joined, Intune joined, on-prem joined, cloud joined, doesn't matter. Whether they're Windows, Mac, doesn't matter. There's one single location for reports for all of this stuff. There are built-in reports, and then there are extensible reports as well. I'll show you the built-in reports, and then there are APIs for extensible reporting. So again, starting from the same dashboard, there's a dedicated reporting section. There are three types of reports: the threat protection reports, machine health and compliance, and web protection reports. Web protection, there's this follow-on session today at 2:30. Please do come attend that. But I'll give an overview today. So threat protection have trend reports and daily summary reports. Trend reports obviously allow you to see trends over time. All the way starts from 30 days up to 180 days. And then the first one shows you the detections from across the various components in MDATP, including your custom TI. So if your SOC team basically said, hey, this specific file is bad, and they put it a hash and said block it, you can now see it. You want that visibility as an IT organization, right? You don't want somebody changing the stuff. And then now this is a great report that is to roll up to your management, et cetera, where you want to sort of summarize the threats that have been identified into the MITRE categories. The MITRE is essentially a taxonomy that is used by security professionals to sort of show that. And clicking into that sort of also shows you a quick summary of the various alerts that were associated with the specific report data point. So that is a quick overview of the threat protection reports. So next is sort of like the machine health reports. So machine health, again, this is focused on reporting the machine health from a security standpoint. This reports the security health of the security components that are running on these boxes. So you can see whether the OS is up to date, whether the AV agent is up to date or not. And Matt had shown you earlier in the MEM console where you can quickly trigger off a AV signature update to make sure that the AV stays up to date as well. Finally, with web protection, there's the ability to detect web threats, phishing, social engineering, web malware, and we're adding the capability of web content filtering. So if you want to disallow access to categories of websites, adult content, gaming, etc., those can be blocked as well. And these reports essentially show you that. So here it's showing you that there are 8 web threat detections. There were over 177,000 web requests, and we categorize that into what categories these web requests were. These categories, we work with various partner companies. Our current partner is, one of the partners is Siren, and they supply the intel for us. And then each of these reports, you can easily drill down and you can see the various domains. You can click into the domains and you can see the various devices that were accessing these URLs as well. And then subsequently, devices will also show you the specific users, etc. So if you want to set specific policies, you can do that as well. And that's, I guess, that one is in the web protection demo session later today at 2:30. And with that,
that's the end of DemoFest 2019.
That's the end of DemoFest, yes. So quick summary. So hopefully we showed you Microsoft Defender ATP now has a full-fledged endpoint security management covering cross-platform, both on-prem and cloud-connected devices. It's optimized for simple, ease of use, and the security baselines gives you a easy way to optimally configure these devices. And the security management is extensible through a rich API set. And with that, I'm going to hand it to Matt.
Just flip it. So just to really quickly close up with 3 minutes to go, some go-dos. So these are the things that you should all be doing Monday morning when you get back. The first one is connect MDATP to Endpoint Manager. It's that toggle box. Like everybody should just go and do that on Monday morning. It's such a simple thing to do. There's no impact. You just tick it on, and then all of these workloads are going to start lighting up, and some of these cool experiences are going to be available. Deploy the ATP security baseline. That's also very easy. Even if it's just a handful of devices, go and deploy them, go and check it out, see how many devices wouldn't be meeting that baseline and so forth. Think about talking internally about your SecOps and your SecAdmin roles. You know, what's the SecOps roles and responsibilities versus the SecAdmin? Where does a SecAdmin sit in the organization? Is he in the security team? Is she in the IT team? And then start thinking about those workflows between the SecOps and the SecAdmins. We should be trying to automate this as much as possible, right? The longer the delays between getting remediations and configurations done between these two teams really opens risk to lots of organizations. And then finally, look out for the new Microsoft Endpoint Manager SecAdmin experiences early next year. So we shipped the endpoint security node about 2 weeks ago, which has got a cut down list of what you saw today, but all the AV and encryption experiences are going to be shipping over the coming months as well. So 4 really easy things for you to do Monday morning, and they should start to prove a whole bunch of this value that Deepak's talking about at the start for Microsoft Defender ATP. So that's what we got for you guys today. So thanks a lot for joining, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you.